Okay, class, we're about to start part 2 of lesson 4. Now, with the previous video, I had got cut off at the end to tell you all that there was a part 2. But I know as you all look through the email that I sent you all, it showed that there was a part 2 to the video. So let's get to it. And we're on page 290 if you're following along with your textbook. It says mean, median, and mode. Suppose you were asked how much money you usually spend on groceries in a week. Some weeks you may spend a great deal, other weeks much less. You would probably choose an amount in the middle to represent what you typically spend. This middle value is called an average or measure of central tendency. The most common type of average is the mean or the arithmetic average. In 5 football games, a team scored 14, 21, 3, 20, and 10 points. What is the mean or average score per game? So you would add the values, which is shown here, and then you would divide by the number of items in the set. So basically it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. So you would tally this up and then divide by 5. And it gives you 13.6 points per game. Although it is impossible for a football team to score 13.6 points in a game, the number represents the center of the scores from the 5 games. A calculator is useful for finding the mean. Do the calculations in 2 steps. Enter the addition operations. Then if you are using the TI-30XS multi-view, press enter to find the sum. Then key in the division operation. Try example 1 above with the calculator. Now I'm going to alter this a little bit because they added in extra work that you don't need to do. With this calculator, and this is the calculator that we're promoting. This right here, we know division is really a fraction. So what we would do is put this in as a fraction. We'll hit N over D, and we could type in all of these values. For the top, you have 14 plus 21 plus 3 plus 20 plus 10. And then you hit your down arrow, and we know it's 5/10. And then you can press enter. And it gives you 68 over 5. And then you can press second, the fraction to decimal, and press enter. And it gave you 13.6. Okay, so now we got the same amount, 13.6. Now, it says another measure of average is the median. The median is the middle value in the set of data. So during a 7-hour period, a bookstore recorded the following numbers of sales. Find the median number of sales. Now, if you notice here, we have 7 values. But with the median, you have to arrange the values by size from smallest to greatest. That is very important. If you don't do that, 9 times out of 10, you're going to get the wrong answer unless they're already arranged. So, we arrange by size, smallest to greatest. Then we find the middle number. Since it's 7 numbers, we know the 4th number is the middle number. So it'll be 36. Now, it says if there is an even number of values, the median is the mean of the 2 middle values. So basically what it's saying is this here. We have 6 numbers here. So we still arrange it from smallest to greatest. We would take the middle 2 numbers because we know there's not a middle number when you have an even amount. Just like if parents have 4 children, let's just say all 4 are girls. They have 4 girls. There is no middle girl because you have 4. So what you would do here, you would take the middle 2 values here. So to know that they're the middle 2 values, you have to have just as many numbers in front of the middle 2 values as you have in back of the middle 2 values. So what you would do, you would add the middle 2 values and then divide by 2. So let's do it here. We'll press N over D. The middle 2 values would be 88 plus 90. Then you would hit the down arrow and hit the number 2. Now hit the right arrow. Now, because we know that we want a number that maybe have a decimal or a whole number, after we do this fraction, we'll hit the right arrow, then press second, and then the F to D key, which is the table key, and press enter. So that gave us 89, which you see here. Now the mode. The mode is the value that occurs most often in a set of data. A set of data could have more than one mode if several items occur the same number of times. If each item of data occurs only once, there is no mode. Example 6. 6 weather stations recorded the following temperatures at 3 p.m. 45 degrees, 44 degrees, 45 degrees, 47 degrees, 46 degrees, and 45 degrees. What is the mode of the data? So we look at all these numbers, and we see the number that appears the most is 45. So the temperature 45 degrees occurs most often 3 times. The mode is 45. Now here's the thing. They did not give you all the full definition of mode, so I will have to give it to you. There can be more than one mode, just to let you know, because here's the thing. Let's say that 45 appeared 3 times, and let's say 44 appeared 3 times, and both of them appeared the most, then your mode would be 44 and 45. So let me demonstrate that on a sheet of paper. Okay. Let's say I had a set of numbers. Let's say I had 1, 1, 2, 2, 5, 6, 9, and 8. Okay, now, if you notice here, of this set of numbers here, the numbers that appears the most is 1 and 2. So our mode would be 1, 2. Our mode would be 1 and 2. Okay. Well, I should write 1 and 2. So our mode would be 1 and 2. Okay, now, let's say, that's one description, that your mode can be more than one number. But let's say that all of the numbers only appear one time. Now, again, what I'm about to show you only applies when all of your numbers only appear one time. So let's say we have 1, 3, 2, 5, 8. All of these numbers only appear one time. So what I just told you when I said that you can have more than one mode, if the most appears the same amount of times, then that would be your mode. But this is a unique case. When every number appears only once, your answer would be no mode. So in order to have a mode, a number or numbers must appear more than once. If all numbers appear only once, then your answer would be no mode. Now again, I'm showing you this because this is not a part of your directions here. So now, we move on to the exercise set. Okay, now it says for each data set, find the mean, median, and mode. Round calculations to the nearest hundredth or cent. You may use a calculator. Now, first of all, I am basically only going to use a calculator when we do the median. I mean the mean, I'm sorry. I'm only going to use the calculator when we use the mean. We would need to write out the median and the mode. Okay? So first thing that I want to do for number 1, and matter of fact, I'm not doing every problem here because it's just going to be repeated. But I am going to do, let me see, I'm going to do maybe about 5 of these 10. So let me start off with, number 1. I'm going to do the mean first. So first thing I would do is hit N over D. And remember, with the mean, you add up all of the numbers. 76, 82, 75, 87, 80, 82, and 79. Then we go down to the down arrow. Now it says golf scores for 7 rounds, so we know it's out of 7. And then we'll press the right arrow key, because remember, we want this to be in decimal form. So we'll press second, then the table key, and press enter. So now it tells us the round calculation to the nearest hundredth, the hundredth or cent. So the hundredths place is 2 decimals, 2 places behind the decimal. So we'll go to that third decimal place. This right here is the 2, so that's 0 through 4, so we would leave this the same. So it'll be 80.14 for your mean. So for number 1, your mean is 80.14. Now we have to do the median. Now the median, the first thing we need to do is organize these numbers. So for the median, we have to organize these numbers. So we will have, let's see, the lowest number here is 75. Second number is 76. The third number is 79. So 75, 76, 79. Then we have 80. Then we have 82, 82, and 87. Okay, so now we have 7 values. So we know with 7, the middle number is the 4th number. So our answer here would be 80. So your median is 80. So now the mode. Remember, the mode is the number or numbers that appears the most. I think it's easier to find your mode after you do your median, because all the numbers are organized and you can see which has the most repeated numbers, which is 82. So that took care of problem number 1. All right, now, let me see which one. Number 3, I think what I may do is do all of the odd numbers. Yes, all of the odd numbers. And then I might do number 8, depending on how the other odd numbers turn out. All right, so that took care of problem number 1. Now, problem number 3. Let's go right to it. All right, so with problem number 3, so now with number 3, we're going to start off like we did with number 1. We're going to do the mean first. So we'll press N over D. We'll do 4.50 plus 5.25 plus 4.50 plus 3.75 plus 4.50 plus 5.25 plus 6.10 plus 4.25. Then we press the down arrow, and it tells us that this is for 8 days, so that'll be 8. Now let's go back up to the top and make sure that we typed in all of the numbers correctly, because we definitely don't want that problem. Okay, so we got 4.50, that's the first, 5.25, 4.50 is the third, 3.75 is the fourth, 4.50 is the fifth, 5.25 is the sixth, 6.10, and then 4.25, and then 8. Now we will press our right arrow to get to the end here. Then we'll press second, then table, and press enter. That's interesting. Alright, let me do that again. Second table, enter. Okay, I don't know what happened, but it just gave me the 381 over 80 for some reason. But it should be 4.76. So it's $4.76. That would be your mean. So number 2, the mean is $4.76, because we know we only go 2 decimal places with our money system. Now we're going to look at the median. Now the median, remember, we have to set this up from smallest to largest. So let's see, the smallest amount here is $3.75. The next is $4.25. The next is, let me see, 3. So it looks like it's $4.50 3 times. So $4.50 3 times. And then at the $4.50, we come across $5.25 twice. And then finally, we add $6.10. Now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 values here. So we have to pick the 2 in the middle. 3 in front, 3 in back. So it'd be $4.50 twice that we have to add and divide by 2. So N over D, 4.50 plus 4.50. Down arrow, we press 2, and then press the right arrow, press second, table, and enter. I don't know why it's not doing it. So we'll just press second, and then F to D, and then enter. So it's $4.50. So the median is $4.50. That is the median. Now the mode. The mode is the number or numbers that appears the most. We notice that 450 appears 3 times, and that's more than all the other numbers. So it'd be $4.50 would be the mode. Now it's possible that you could have more than one of these that give you the same answer. So your mode and your median is actually the same answer. That doesn't happen all the time, but it can happen. Okay, so that took care of problem number 3. I actually made a mistake and put number 2, but this is actually number 3. Okay, now we go to problem number 5. So problem number 5, we'll pull up the calculator, and it's the grocery bill for 4 weeks. So we still do N over D. So we had $97.48 plus $106.13 plus $110.98 plus $92.74. Then we do the down arrow. It's 4 values, so 4 would be in our denominator. We'll press our right arrow, then we'll just press enter this time. And it gives us $101.83. So that would be our mean. Our mean is $101.83. Okay, now we're going to do our median. Our median, we would just set these up from smallest to greatest. So the smallest is $92.74. The next is $97.48. The next is $106.13. And finally is $110.98. Okay, these are the four values. Since it's an even number, we will add the middle two and then divide by 2. So we'll press our N over D. We had $97.48 plus $106.13. Down arrow divided by 2. Press enter, it gives us $101, and we might as well say 81 cents with the rounding. So our median is $101.81. That is our median. Our mode, here, there's no number that repeats. All of these numbers only appear once. So our mode here, let me minimize this. Since all of these numbers only appear once, our mode would be no mode, because there is no mode. So our mode is no mode. Our median is 101.81, and our mean is 101.83. All right, now that took care of problem number 5. Now we go to problem number 7. Now 7 is a little long, so I'm going to try and do as much of this on the calculator as possible. So what I'm going to do, we'll hit N over D. Now first of all, it said for 10 days, so we know we're going to divide by 10. So let's add these up. We had 96 plus 103 plus 98 plus 101 plus 98 plus, we got 100 twice, so plus 100 plus 100 plus 97 plus 98 plus 100. Press the down arrow, it's divided by 10, and you'll hit the right arrow. So you can press enter, and you see it gives you the fraction, so you'll press second, table, press enter. So it'd be $99.10. So this is number 7. So the mean is $99.10. That's our mean. So now we go to our median. Now remember, we have to line up these numbers. So the lowest number here is 96. The next lowest, or the next, will be 97. And then we will have 98 3 times. Okay, so that took care of all of our 90s. Next we have 100 3 times. So we have 103 times, then we have 101, and then we have 103. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10. Now, because it's 10, we got to take the middle 2 numbers. These are the middle 2 numbers. They have 4 in front, 4 behind. So now we would take our calculator and add 98 and 100, and divide it by 2. So we get N over D, 98 plus 100, bottom arrow, 2, press enter, it gives us 99. So your median is 99. So now we go here to the mode. The mode is the number or numbers that appears the most. So if you notice, 98 appears 3 times, 100 appears 3 times. So what would happen here is we would have actually 2 modes. Now remember, we talked about that earlier. It's the numbers or number that appears the most, and it can be more than 1. So with that being said, our answer here would be 98 degrees and 100 degrees. So that would be our mode, 98 degrees and 100 degrees. And actually, I should not have put dollars here. This was just 99.10 degrees, and this would be 99 degrees. So this is our final answer for problem 7. Now we go to problem number 9. It says attendance figures at a play. Now we know we're doing mean, median, and mode, and we always do the mean first. So I will count how many we have here because they don't tell you how many it is. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we know we're going to divide by 7. So we hit N over D. So we had 305 plus 294 plus 328 plus 296 plus 305 plus 315 plus 292. Now remember, we already established that it was 7 numbers. So we can press enter, and it gives us 305. So number 9, the mean is, okay, so our mean is 305. Now we go for our median. Now remember, the median, we have to set it up from smallest to greatest. So if you look here, the smallest value here is 292. Then the next would be 294. Then the next would be 296. Okay, so that took care of all of the 2s. Now we go to the 3s. We have 2 of them, that's 305. 2, that's 305. And then we had 315 and 328. Okay, so these are our 7 numbers. Now since it's 7 numbers, we just picked the one right in the middle, which is 305. So our median here would be 305. Now our mode, the number that appears the most, is only one of them that appeared more than once, and that's 305. So your answer, your mode here would be 305. So if you notice here, what's interested in is the mean, median, and mode is the same answer. But remember, this is a unique case. This is not always the case. So now, mosey on down here. It says for B, choose the one best answer to each question. You may use your calculator. Questions 11 and 12 refer to the following information. They give us an asking price, selling price for these homes sold in Fairfield Heights in June. What was the mean asking price of the home sold at Fairfield Heights in June? So what we would have to do, the mean asking price, we have to add all these up and divide by 6. So we'll take our calculator, press N over D, and they said the mean asking price. So we have 124,600 plus 132,400 plus 118,900 plus 98,500 plus 105,800 plus 122,400. Now that would be all up divided by 6. So we press enter, and it gives us $117,100, which would be A. Now again, I'm going to say this, well, I'll write this down. For number 11, so 11 would be A, which is $117,100 from the calculator. Now number 12, it says, what was the median selling price of the home sold in Fairfield Heights in June? So remember, we have to line these up. So 98,500 would be first, that's the lowest. Then next would be the 105,800. Then the next would be the 118,900. Then we have 122,400. And then we have 124,600. And then finally we have 132,400. Okay, so now we have 6 values here. So we take the middle 2. These are the middle 2. It's 2 ahead of it and 2 behind it. So now we have to add those and divide by 2. So we put N over D. So it'll be 118,900 plus 122,400, down arrow, 2, and enter. So our median would be, what's that, 120,000. Oh, you know what? Actually, I did this incorrectly because they asked us the selling price, not the asking price. So sorry about that, but since this could be another example for this median, even though this isn't number 12, you could cross that out and just put example 1. This median would be $120,650. So that could be a nice little example, an extra practice problem. So now we go back to number 12. Now number 12, they said the selling price. So we had to organize this according to the selling price. So the lowest price of the selling price was $103,600. Now I'm not going to put the commas in between the numbers because we're trying to line these numbers up. So 103,600. Next will be 109,000. The next would be 116,500. And then the next would be 116,500 because it appeared twice. And then it'll be 118,400. And then finally it'll be 124,800. Okay, so we have 6 values here. We take the middle 2. Now, one thing I want to tell you where you don't need a calculator to find the median when you're doing the middle 2, if the middle 2 values are exactly the same, then your answer will be that value. So let me show it to you here. N over D, we have 116,500 plus 116,500. hit the down arrow over 2 and press enter. You see how it gave us the same answer? That's only if they're exactly the same. So your final answer here would be C, $116,500. So that would be number 12. Okay, now we go to problems 13. It says the number of patients enrolled at 4 health clinics are 790, 1150, 662, and 805. Which expression could be used to find the mean number of patients per clinic? So first of all, we know that there's 4. So we know, we look here, our denominator, it must be divided by 4. This is divided by 4. This has no division. This is divided by 2, and this is divided by 2. So our answer here would be A. We know we're going to add all of them up and divide by 4. So your answer for 13 would be A. So 13 is just A. So I'll write that down here. So 13 would be A, which is 790 plus 1150 plus 662 plus 805 all over 4. So that right here would be your answer for number 13. Okay, now we go to problem 14. It says, what is the median value? And they give you these numbers here. But let's skip down to problem 15. It says, what is the mode of the following points scored? Okay, if you look here, you have 14 appeared twice. So let's see if anything else appeared twice or more. It doesn't. Nothing else appeared twice or more. So 14 wins. So 15 would just be B. So 15 would be B. 15 would be B, which is 14. So that would be your answer, B14 for 15. So now we're going to do problem 14, which would be the last problem. So with problem 14, we want to find the median. So we have to line these up in order from smallest to greatest. So it's 268. The next number would be 654. Let me see, 268, 654. Then it'll be 852. Then it will be 900. Then it'll be 1258 twice. See, 1258 twice. And then finally, it'll be 1558. So we count here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 numbers. Okay, this makes this a lot easier because it's only 7 numbers. We pick the number in the middle, which is this 900. So then our answer would be C, $900. And that's it for this section. Now we are done, and I will put this video on YouTube. Have a wonderful day.